Well, on this episode, we're going to review a past event by Mission Pro Wrestling, which is run by Thunder Rosa. This one is called Shoot to Thrill. This took place back in August 20th. I'm very excited to see what took place. Apparently, they did not have a lot of the matches full of women, but they had men, and well, even though it's supposed to be an all females promotion. And also, on Major League Wrestling, as you know, Major League Wrestling has sort of ended up in a partnership with All Japan Pro Wrestling. As you know, Tajiri is the current MLW World Middleweight Champion. He will put he put the title on the line against a young wrestler named Atsuki Yoga, and this is going to be a very good match, and that's the main event. Also, we got NXT UK. As you know, we have a number one contendership for the Heritage Cup, and of course, we have many things that are taking place and announcements by Sid Scala, and finally, Impact Wrestling. As we know, we're getting closer and closer to Hard to Kill. There's going to be a contract signing with the three participants. That includes the champion Moose and challengers W. Morrissey and Matt Cardona. And we have a lot of things that took place also on Impact. So, let's get started with another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So let's begin with reviewing a past event by Mission Pro Wrestling, which Shoot to Thrill. This took place on the 20th of August. Now, if you guys aren't familiarized with Mission Pro Wrestling, this is Thunder Rosa's promotion. Became an all-female promotion since last year, and this time they are doing something for the Salvation Army. They decided to add in some of the men involved, which is okay. Pretty good matches. But let's go from start to finish. The first match, we have Casey Blackrose taking on Chocolate Poppy. Yep, I never heard of these guys. The match was okay, but Chocolate Poppy reminded me of somebody. I don't know who, but he was very impressive. With his um the way he takes his whole persona as Chocolate Poppy well enough. But it was him who picked up the victory when he pinned Black Rose down, and it was 1, 2, 3. Good night, Irene. Next up, we have an intergender tag team match. We got Chip Garrison teaming with Mighty Myra, taking on Dulce Tormenta and Hijo del Impostero, or Hijo del Imposter. So basically, it was a pretty awesome match. As you know, uh, from what the commentary says, Dulce Tormenta was out for quite some time due to a knee injury, and now she's back. I'm very happy with that. But of course, Hijo de Impostor, he is a fourth generation wrestler, which is a great thing. And I have to say, the dynamic with both Tormenta and Hijo are very impressive, and that's why it was Tormenta who pinned Mighty Myra and win the match for her team. Next up, we have JP Harlow and with Jeremy Wilkerson taking on Brandon Weiss. This is one of those matches where we see a bit of the grappling come into play. Now, the commentator says, what does JP know about grappling? But he seems like he learned a bit. I know some people say it doesn't take overnight just to learn, but yeah, it just did. Excuse me. But however, it was Brandon Weiss who picked up the victory when he actually submitted JP Marlowe, and it ended up in badly for him. Next up, we got Kayla Sparks taking on the Woad. Now, this match was brutalized, especially when she's out to destroy anything that comes in her way. Her WOD stands for Weapon of Ass Destruction. That's the reason it exists, and that's why she won in that way when she pulled off the finisher. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired here, but yeah. So it was WOD who picked up the victory and knocked her out completely. Next tag team, we got Pac Ortega taking on Drew Who taking on Marcelo and Sabotage. I thought it was a good tag team. Don't know who these guys are. Pac Ortega, I thought he might have copied his name from Pac. You know what I'm talking about, but no, I don't think so. Well, the name's similar, but no. But I have to say it was a pretty good match, but it was fallen to when Drew Who picked up the victory for his team. It was great. Next up, we got Maddie Rick. Excuse me, Maddie Rinkowski taking on Rashad Chanel. As you know, we've seen these two women in AEW Dark on multiple occasions. We haven't seen them since, but I would love to see Maddie in AEW one day. Hopefully one day we can see her. But it was a good match. However, there was like some great moments. But it was Maddie who picked up the victory by submitting, submitting what's her name, Roche, and that was it. Now Joe Galli, on the other hand, who is was playing ring announcer, had a dealing with a guy named Chris Cifuentes who just wanted to match him. Galli got hurt, but he was able to pick up a victory, which was really good. So basically, he got away with it. Next up, we got Alex Arsenal. Alex Arsenal taking on Fuego del Sol, the master of the DDT. I thought this match was incredible. I thought great moments, great spots, great things that I enjoyed. But it was Fuego who pulled off the tornado DDT, and bammo, it was over right there. Now our main event is basically like a number one contendership for the a shot of the Mission Pro Wrestling World Championship against La Rosa Negra, but it was Jasmine Allure versus Chris, no, Skyline King. But however, a mysterious figure showed up and just distracted the referee. But you can see later, Jasmine Allure won the match thanks to that. But it did help her to win. It's still unclear who was the winner, but I mean the mysterious figure. But we may never know. But I have to say the show was pretty good. It was good enough, not the best, but it was good. Some of the matches are great. I enjoyed most of them, but there's still some I felt like maybe I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. But right now, let's move on with the next review, and I believe we have. Let me think here real quick. Oh, that's right, MLW Fusion Alpha. So let's do that right now. Well, we are now with MLW Fusion Alpha number 13. As you know, last week 5150 actually won the MLW World Tag Team Championships when they decided to stop LA Park from cheating. And now that they're sending a direct message to everybody saying, we told you this was going to happen. And now send in whoever you want. Send whoever wants us. So basically, they're laying down an invitation against anybody that stands in their way. Now, the opening match, we have a bit of a grudge match between Holodead and Dr. X against Willow Nightingale, who brought with her for backup Blue Meanie, and it was a good pick. Now, the reason Holodead has been attacking Willow Nightingale was because too bubbly. I mean, look, I get it. She's too much for your taste, and that makes it understandable. But when you attack someone who's bubbly, they don't take that lightly. But however, the match was okay. It would have gone either way to Nightingale. However, the Unholy Alliance with Aries kind of helped hit them out, help Holiday out to win the match. Now, Caesar Duran, for whatever reason, he decides to side with 5150. Basically, happy that they tag team. But the real question is, who will be their opponents? That is the question. However, we do have one opponent that most likely would want that shot, and that is the legendary Von Erichs. Yes, Ross and Marshall Von Erichs, third generation wrestlers, the sons of Kevin Von Erich. They are heading to Dallas, getting ready to challenge for these titles. I think that's going to be a classic match. Now, speaking of 5150, we have Homicide taking on LA Park. Now, it was Homicide who was trying to stop LA Park from screwing things up. And now LA Park has some payback. And that's exactly what he speared him. And he did not kick out in the nick of time. And that allowed for LA Park to win the match. Now, about a week or two ago, Calvin Tackman attacked Mr. Thomas, Alex Kane's, and he was arrested for what he did. But, however, um, Alex Kane believes that he will be in jail for the rest of his life. But, however, it was later revealed that he was out. He's getting out real soon, and he is saying that he has plans against Buyame Fight Club. So I don't know what it is, but if I was Alex Kane, I would be worried before anything goes out. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a um, pretty good segment. But our main event was in Japan for the All Japan Pro Wrestling for the MLW World Middleweight Championship between a challenger Atsuki Aoyagi taking on Tajiri, the Japanese buzzsaw. And buzzsaw was exactly the name he is. He used the buzzsaw kick right in his face. He was knocked down and allowing himself to retain the title. So that's going to be good. But do we think we're going to see that title be defended in Japan? Possibly. But right now, I don't know what to say about that part. But hope you guys enjoy that. So let's move on forward right now. Okay, NXT UK. It opened up with the bit of the rivalry between Gallus and Di Familia. As you know, this was a feud that's been starting. Tailman and Rahad Rajan will not forget what happened in their previous encounter. Di Familia don't consider Gallus as family, despite the fact that there's Joe Coffey and his brother Mark. They don't think they're real. And then Charlie Dempsey appeared, who had enough of Gallus interrupting his interviews. So Tailman believes what Charlie Dempsey. So he proved it by taking him on. But however, at some point, the Familia showed up to give them a helping hand. But Gallus showed up, but it did not work whatsoever. It did allow for Charlie Dempsey to put Joe Coffey in a submission, and he passed out, and the ref had no other choice but to call the match. So basically, this feud is just beginning between the both Di Familia and the Gallus boys. Now, since the aftermath of what happened last week with Tyler Bate and Trent Seven winning the NXT UK tag team titles, it appears that Sid Scala has set up new tag team matches to determine who will challenge Mustache Mountain. It's already been revealed. Sam Bios is in it. So is Jake Stars and Dave Mastiff. Who else? I just lost count. But yes, so that's what happened. So I can't wait to see who's going to be that team that wins the chance. Now, Mustache Mound, as you know, some of the Tyler Bate, he's been multiple champions. He's like a quadruple mega champion. But however, I think the bigger question I think we need to ask ourselves, okay, these guys have been around forever. What's next? Who most likely be the competitor to dethrone them? That is a question we have to wait and see. We know they'll have challengers coming left and right, up and down, side to side, this way, that way, that sort of thing. So that's what is being played out, and I don't know. I feel that's the obvious question. Now, we do get a bit of a vignette with, of course, Jordan Devlin. Now, Jordan Devlin believes that Ilya Dragunov is a waste of time being a champion. He believes that title is meant for him. So he's preparing for himself, but he compared the lifestyles that both he and Dragunov have lived. But Dragunov will not take that lightly, no matter what comes out of his mouth. So, now, as I mentioned, we got tag team titles being mentioned. Jordan Oliver, Ashton Carter. No, I have to say this is one of those moment. No, was Oliver Carter Smith and Ashton Carter are, as you know, they got tag team gold in their minds, so they are amongst those who will challenge for that. But we'll see where they're gonna go. Now, we have the next match. Danny Jones, who was once a student in the same school where Mark Andrews was from, is being challenged by the cockroach Kenny. Now, Kenny wants a piece of him after what took place, but basically Mark Andrews has been ducking him. And basically, Kenny, who was vindictive, he would do anything to ensure for a win, but however, he got the win completely well to win the match. But as soon as the match was over, he was later showed that he found Mark Andrews and beat him up. He's demanding for this match, basically the right or wrong. Now, Symbiosis also had a similar predicament. They want tag team gold, but we'll see where they're gonna go. Now, our Heritage Cup match, I thought that was great. Seeing A Kid and um, Mark Andrews, I have to say, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Um, but however, first round ended up 0. Second round, um, what's his name? Um, Tam, no, no, it was second round. Oh yeah, it was Nathan Frazier, and then third round was 0. Then fourth round ended up in um, A Kid. Then fifth round ended up with A Kid. So I thought it was pretty good moment. Yeah. So I thought it was pretty amazing. But I think it was what's his name again? A Kid who has a bit of an experience, but he could be the next guy to remove his wife out of this mess, and that's how it is. Hold on. No, my bad. Sorry guys, I'm still asleep. I have to say, A Kid was very impressive. Like he's on the verge, in my opinion, to becoming maybe two-time Heritage Cup champion. I think that's his goal. But do we think he has what it takes to beat Noam Dar? As you know, Noam Dar has Shaw Samuels, who believes that guys like A Kid, Nathan Frazier don't know anything about British wrestling. But we'll see what happens then. I'm kind of curious when this is going to happen, and we'll see where they're going to go. But right now, let's move on with Impact Wrestling. We're going to review is Impact Wrestling. Opened up with Rohit Raju along with Raj Singh taking on Josh Alexander. Now, keep in mind, Josh Alexander right now, his state of mind is getting to Jonah for a shot of him for what he did. Now, we know that Jonah is standing in its way to obtain the title, but however, do not count out the walking weapon until he finally puts you down and blammo, he won the match. Now, these next interviews we see Violent by Design and the Good Brothers, they don't have a friendship, but they are doing this out of business. But we'll see how that plays out. And as you know, the next interview, Chelsea Green, is going to make history being part of the first ever Ultimate X women's match. But however, Moose believes that Chelsea is doing the right thing for her career, but she cannot understand why is she with a guy like Matt Cardona, who's nothing in his eyes in Mid Carter. But we'll see about that. Now, the unlikely pairing, we have Joe Dorian and Doc Gallows taking on, was it Swan and Willie? I thought it was good, but however, I have to say, God have pulled a lot of good stuff on this one. Violent by Design actually did not get in the way, but it was the double choke slam that put Willie Mack out. But however, Heath and Rhino tried to help out, but they were getting a beat down. But all of a sudden, we see Eddie Edwards comes out to give the helping hand. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. So right now, just to let you guys know, I'm a bit tired. Now, VSK and Zicky Dice, well, as you all know, they're not in a good mood. They don't want to call Brian Myers for losing. They, I don't know what Zicky was thinking. He set up a match against uh, the K, but VSK told him, "Do not be drunk." But there will be probably drinking somewhere, but we'll see where they're gonna go. Now, as you know, Jonah has been making headways, appearing at New Japan Strong, now Impact. He said that Josh Alexander had no respect for anybody when he should have just stayed down, but no. He's not the kind of guy who just gives up that easily. But basically now Jonah is preparing for him. Hopefully that's the case, but we'll see where they're going to go. Now we have John Skyler taking on Trey Miguel. It was a good match. I'm a big fan of the X Division stuff, but it was Trey Miguel that won the match. But however, as soon as he was leaving, he was attacked by Steve Macklin, who wants another shot, believing that Trey will never beat him, knowing that he did not pin him, he did not submit him. So we'll see. But what else? Then we have Chris Bay along with Hikuleo to take on Literal Kid. It was a good match. I'm just, don't know. But however, there was interference coming from Hikuleo, but it worked or not. But it was Bay that pulled off a good victory on this match, allowing for him and Hikuleo to be like the unit that should be in it. Now, this thing with Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James is out of control. Mickie James followed her to an autograph session, but however, D'Amore decided to set up a no contact clause. Basically, if they screwed up, but even this, he said to Matthew Wenroll, if you even get involved, you're fired. So we'll see about that. But we did see a mystery vignette, which was kind of interesting. I'm like, don't know what that means. It's kind of weird, but we'll see about that. Then finally, we had Tennille Dashwood along with members of Influence to take on Jesse McKay. That match ended up badly with Cassidy being taken out, but Angelique, fuck. But Tennille Dashwood got her good, allowing for them to win a chance. But we could see they could have a potential opportunity for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. So we'll see where they're going to go with that. Now, what was I? Now we get to the contract signing. Morrissey was the first to sign it, gave his words, and then he left. But however, Matt Cardona had something to say, and then Moose decided to play the little mind games, try to get in each other's heads. But the match ended badly in the way. The whole contract signing with Eddie out. Well, for everything going out, it Moose decided to cross the line. My bad. I'm tired, guys. I'm like still sleepy. Okay, anyway, Moose decided to go with the same old thing with Chelsea Green. However, there was like a bit of a brawl. Chelsea got misfired, got caught in the crossfire, and Matt Cardona hit her with the chair by an accident. But Moose took great pleasure. He thinks that this is what he wanted. But if I was him, just be careful. Matt Cardona can try something new, and that is something that he's not afraid of doing it. So right now we'll see what happens next week, and then we'll go hopefully one day to the Tokyo Dome. But right now, no, not the Tokyo Dome. For Hard to Kill, I think we still got more things that's gonna happen. Still some matches I'm not sure if they're gonna put out, but this is gonna be interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there's gonna be a Texas Death Match for Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo. I forgot about that, so hopefully that's what I got. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm so tired. It's late. I didn't get the chance to do this earlier. I think that's pretty much it right now for all of you. Just well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Coming up, we have some past promotions from that I never heard of. The first one's from Glory Pro that took place back on August 22nd. The other one, Action Wrestling, that took place on the 1st of December. Then there's the recent event by um, Violence and Suffering, The World Is Yours, and then All Elite Rampage and 205 Live. I'm very excited to review all of this for you, but for now, I must bid all of you guys adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.